Hello, this is Rex Bukai with the Hamilton City Schools, and this clip is about becoming a coach and setting up classes as a coach. Anybody can be a coach. So anybody in the Hamilton City Schools can be a coach for any student in the Hamilton City Schools. To be a coach, you have to be able to be a member of the Khan Academy, and so you need to go in prior to this and set up that you're join Khan. And you also have to have a Gmail email account, which is a hamiltoncityschools.org account. Your Gmail account would be your first name dot last name at hamiltoncityschools.org. Once you have those two pieces, you're ready to be a coach. Then you would notify the tech teacher in the computer lab or the lab managers that you want to be a coach for a particular class or all classes. The tech teacher or lab manager then would just simply write your Gmail email address on the board and instruct the students to make you a coach. It's that simple. And then once they've done that, then you're their coach. So I'm going to click on coach to show you. And it goes to my first class, excuse me, Mr. Huth's class, but I'm going to expand that to all students. And I'm coaching right now about 225 students. I'm not really tutoring them. I'm just using my access to be able to look at their analytics and to see what kind of progress they're making. So here you see I've got all my students listed, and this is the progress summary, and it shows where students are having successes and where their students are struggling. And I see two areas right away: addition and subtraction word problems, and number line number 3. I've got some students that are really struggling there, and I would like to find out why. And I would go in and I would be finding out they're not watching the videos. Now let's talk about setting up a class, because you don't want to be monitoring 220 students at one time. You want to break them into a manageable group. So I would choose manage students. When I do, all the students are listed, and you see their name, year of graduation, and their Google address. And I have classes for Mr. Huth, and I did one called Riverview Grade 5 and Mrs. Doe. So I could create a new class by going create, and I will say this is let's call this Crawford grade 6. So now I have 3 classes. So I can go through here, and I have to go through manually each student and pick what class they're in. So let's say this particular student is in Crawford grade 6. I just click on it, and we're just going to do all letter A's and see how we do. Now this is a little time consuming at the start, but once I'm done setting this up, there's really nothing else I need to do. Okay, so let's go through Crawford. All right, that's enough. Now I've enrolled some students in this class. Now I can go and I can start to work on just this class. So if I just click on Crawford, I'll hit Coach. Now I started Mr. Huth, but I want to go see Crawford now. And my 10 students that I enrolled pop up. And I can check and see. Right here's a good example. They better all be in A's, and they are. So all the students I enrolled now are in one particular subgrouping or one class. And so now I can get class analytical data. I can see how my class's progress summary is here on the progress summary. And remember, I like to hit struggling, so it gets rid of all the substrands that no one has worked on yet, and it's just working on those strands where people are having issues or red or struggling. I can get a progress report for my 10 students. And here again, this is, remember I had struggling marked before, so it's showing me again. It can show me all the things that they're progressing on. And I can use the slider bar here to see, wow, they're moving quite along. Some of them are moving at a very good rate. And I can see which students need intervention. I can look at daily activity and pick a date. Looks like some students were absent that date, but I can go through any day and pick students. And this is the least, this report I don't get much purpose behind. But I like the progress over time. It's my benchmark, are students making progress? So 27 and a half days they've been working on Khan. Now some students didn't start right at that day, you see. Some schools started sooner than others, obviously. But I have one student that in 22 and a half days has mastered 40 skills. That's excellent. My one I'm worried about right here, they have done only 12 skills in 20 days. And you can see the average, my average group of students are about here, about 20 skills in 20 days. So, and that's what I'm finding to be like the benchmark is almost a one-to-one ratio between days in Khan and skills mastered. Now, I think every grade period that will change as the subject matter becomes more difficult. So I've got all of these analytics I can look at as for a grade, for a class, not a grade. So I think that that's pretty impressive. Remember, I can always go back and pick any particular student that I want to pick, and just to see how they're doing as an individual. So as a coach, I can not only look at classes, I can look at individual students. And I can see that this student they haven't done some things over here, but they're filling in the natural progression pretty well. And let's see here. Excuse me. They're working with ordering numbers, and they tried 6 with no avail, and they really kind of shouldn't be here, but that's okay. Recognizing ray lines and line segments, they did that. Only did it, they took 12 tries, and they mastered it. So I can go and check on focus. This student has seen 2 videos. That's just good. They've seen converting fractions and a decimal video, and another one just for 5 seconds. They spent a lot of their time working on rounding numbers, but they've mastered it. So I don't have a problem if they spend a lot of time on some of these areas, but I'm really excited when I see the stars that, yes, they ended up being proficient in that area. So as a coach, I can see skills, I can see progress over time. And I can see this student here started a little bit late, got through some of the very easy stuff quick. Then they started, they had a plateau. After that plateau, though, look, they're making great growth up here. So after 27 days, they've got about 18 skills mastered. So that's how you sign up as a coach, and that's some of the benefits of coach. There's another video on analytics that you can see as a coach, and then there's another one I recommend, the analytics that you can see that students on individual student data. Thank you.